ASAP Rocky thinks DJ Akademiks still matters in hip-hop.
Akademiks sat down with ASAP Rocky. If you don't know, Akademiks has an interview that's coming out with ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky is, of course, on his run right now after dropping his album, Don't Be Dumb. Akademiks sat down with ASAP Rocky and he said a couple of things, which I'm glad that he said, because these are things that needs to be called out. You could look at him as sort of like somebody who has planted himself into the culture of hip hop. I wouldn't say he's necessarily hip hop and he represents hip hop media, because you can't represent hip hop media and have super biased takes, right? And with this whole battle with Drake and Kendrick, Akademiks really showed us that he definitely has biased takes.
Drake, everybody knows.
And continues to do so. So he posted a clip, right? And in this clip, he posted and said, Akademiks is hip-hop is Akademiks, end of story, Rocky convo on the way. Now, obviously, this is Akademiks glazing himself.
Glaze you, net!
Let's see what ASAP Rocky said.
That in full effect. I ain't gonna hold you. And you saying what you mean and you meaning what you saying and you deal with the consequences later. I know you got phone calls from that nigga like I know you had to be like like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bring back the journalism that we need from you. Stop having it like one side of the pan, because you're gonna lose viewership and you're gonna lose a lot of niggas. I know that you are at the forefront of streaming, you at the forefront of journalism.
Stop the cap.
You're new, you changed journalism in this new age. Nobody buys tangible magazines and newspapers no more for our generation. It's all digital. It's all digital media. You the number one digital hip hop media outlet.
Glaze you, net!
When I go to your page, it's nothing but drama. You used to be posting shit you thought was fire on some Tumblr shit. Now you getting so political that we know that nigga gave you 5 bands to post.
Don't say a word, brother.
Will he listen? He won't, because at the end of the day, like I told y'all, it's all about the bag. The bag is bigger than the disrespect. Akademiks, ASAP Rocky. I want to show y'all. So let's play this second clip.
Just thinking to myself, like, yo, it's crazy that, like, before, like, niggas like me, niggas like Tyler, niggas like, before we go get up, it ain't no shade room, it ain't da-da-da-da-da. Not taking nothing away from the shade room, shout out to them, like.
What's up, word? It's your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join that membership, and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So we're seeing ASAP Rocky on a run for his new album, Don't Be Dumb. He's doing it right. We saw the clips roll out last year. An amazing rollout. They did it right, and ASAP Rocky is doing them one better by being on even more platforms and even more spaces. Even if they're ops or not, ASAP Rocky's in there handling his business. Make sure you know that this album is on and popping. He's doing what we used to do back in the day, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and in the 2000s. Used to actually have to go out and tell people my album is out, right? He's got, I believe they said he's going to hit about 200,000 first week. Gang is just looking crazy. His vinyl sales are through the roof. And he's out here pushing an album like you're supposed to. You don't stop. You keep going. Even after they announced the first week predictions, right? All that, this, that, and the third. You do not stop. And what I'm seeing with A$AP Rocky, even if he got it, he know his funny style, right? Like we used to say back in the day, yo, homeboy's funny style, right? We know that Akademiks is funny style. We know that Akademiks has an affinity for Drake, the bubble bath rapper. We know that he would love to go arm in arm if Drake would only come around, right? Drake is not coming around, but for some reason, Akademiks is still hoping and wishing and praying, right? He thinks that Drake is walking through that door, right? But he not coming no time soon because he's over there gambling with Aiden Ross on stake. So he don't need to come with Akademiks. But Akademiks is starting to understand, I still got to move and shape this culture. And when A$AP Rocky calls me, I'm going to have to pick up the phone, right? So we saw that the DJ Akademiks actually put up a picture of him and A$AP Rocky. We're not even going to get into these ridiculous ass clothes he's wearing. It is what it is. We're going to stay focused and talk about what happened. Now, what's going on with A$AP Rocky and Akademiks? And Akademiks know the bubble bath rapper going to be none too happy about this meeting. And A$AP Rocky knows that. That's why he spoke to Akademiks the way he does, or the way he did, rather. And what I'm seeing when I'm looking at this this clip, this snippet of this interview that's going to be posted, right? I'm seeing a lot of things. There's a lot going on. A picture can say 1,000 words. And this little clip, I don't even think this thing is 30 seconds long. I don't know how long this thing is, but it's very short, a minute at best. And there's a whole lot going on to unpack. We do understand that DJ Akademiks knows that this is very big for his. You got to understand, Akademiks is still trying to stay relevant. And A$AP Rocky knows that he has to do these things so he can stay relevant. So we seeing two guys doing what they got to do. They're doing their job. These guys, they're from the blog era gang. Both of them came out around the time where everything was moving and shaking through blogs, and they survived that, and here we are. So what happens is, when you got two guys, let's just be honest, they're both elder statesmen at this point. Right? I don't know how old Rocky is. I know they're both in their 30s, right? So at the end of the day, they seen some shit, right? So what I'm looking at, when I see Akademiks and A$AP Rocky pull up, a myriad of things are going through my mind. When I hear A$AP talking and pleading to Akademiks in the clip that I put in the beginning, salute to Big Zo, he's pleading to Akademiks to just be a little more fair and balanced. Gang, get back to the music. Get back to breaking music. We long gone from them days, A$AP. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I know you got that beautiful wife and them beautiful kids, and you wrapped up in a lot of Fendi underwear and this, that, and the third. But Fenty underwear, right? I know you got a lot going on at home, but things have changed since that last album, gang. Akademiks means absolutely nothing to this culture. You only go to Akademiks' page either to roast his ass or see who's roasting him or see what kind of dumbass take he's putting up. No one's going to follow what Akademiks is saying and listen to. Everybody that go, you got to understand right now, let me talk to A$AP real quick. This game it's real messed up, gang. Like, how did he say at the end of that song, was it, you can hate me now? He said, it's all messed up now, gang. It's all messed up now. Everything messed up now, gang. It's messed up now. Anybody online right now, they already made their mind up. You can't convince them of nothing. Akademiks ain't breaking no records for nobody. Everybody's in their own bubble. The Bubble Bath rappers only follow recommendations that come from the Bubble Bath rappers radio page. Ain't nobody looking for no new music. Let's just be honest. Only people like myself, we looking for new hip hop because we still care about the craft. And ain't nobody going on Akademiks' page to find no hip-hop. So what's going on is A$AP Rocky is still looking at Akademiks as the Akademiks from 10 years ago, where you would go there and he would break new artists and what he said was law, and he would move the culture. He does not move the culture. He's already shown himself to be 100% biased and unreliable in this space. He only going to big up somebody who he either gets money with, he either gets paid to, or he using them for something. He doesn't genuinely break new music without a purpose. Some labels giving him some kind of quid pro quo, right? He's getting something from. He claims, you can't buy me. I'm Akademiks. I never took $1 in my life. We don't believe that, but let's play the game with him. You're getting something, Akademiks. You're getting something. They're not going to be able to follow the money and catch you in the lie. We already know we already know that Drake is sending those monies. First of all, he's paying the DJ Akademiks TV through the goddamn Stake app with the tipping function that you can't trace the money. We already know that, right? We already seen, who was it? He sent $100,000 to Aiden Ross as a gift through the Stake app, and no one can trace it. So we already know you guys move money through there back and forth. So you can say stuff like, I can't be bought. You can't buy me. Well, we already know that ain't true, right? End of the day, you try to dime Nicki Minaj. Well, Nicki Minaj, they will offer me this and that. I never took $1. This, that, and the third. Well, we know you getting something out of the deal. We don't believe you. So A$AP got to understand, Akademiks is not genuine. This is not the Akademiks you remember from Everyday Struggle. Last time I think A$AP Rocky was in the same room with Akademiks might have been on Everyday goddamn Struggle. How long ago was that? Like, let's think about that. This was 7-8 years ago. So he don't understand. Nobody's going to Akademiks. So he got this heartfelt plea, right? He still think Akademiks matters in the hip hop space, right? Akademiks, the people that really honestly would follow 12-year-old kids. 12-year-old kids in fucking Idaho somewhere. Ain't nobody else listening to what Akademiks. You like play your playlist, show people what you're listening to. We don't care what this guy's listening to. And every time he puts it up, it's Drake at the top, and the first 2 records gonna be something from Kendrick, which he don't want us to know, right? We already know what he listening to. He threw some random group in there. He put his Wrapped up, but it was some random group on there, and this, that, and the third. People think that the shit was actually forged, right? We don't even know if it's real. And Akademiks is the kind of person that would put up a forged a Spotify rap. So we don't even know what this guy really listening to, right? End of the day, A$AP Rocky thinks that if Ak goes on his stream, right, and start playing some brand new artist from the kindness of his heart, he's going to start moving the needle. First of all, the people that's on his stream don't care about the music that he's playing in the first place. They want to hear him go ham about some nonsense. So end of the day, he does not have the culture in the palm of his hand like you think. He went from War in Chirac to being a commentating troll. When he went on Everyday Struggle, that's the only part of the validity that he got in this space. And even then, I used to look at him. A lot of us used to look at him like, why is he on here? Most of the stuff he says don't even jive with hip hop. Some of the stuff would be here and there sometime, but it was like all this new school shit, and it was like everything he says really sounded like a young boy, and he wasn't all that goddamn young. Okay, so this is where we are, where Akademiks is bringing people on that can move the needle. I guarantee you. I won't even go so far. Let me just say this. This is what I really got to say about this. I think Akademiks only brought him on there because the album was doing well. I think if that album was flop, he wouldn't even be on there. Did he have Joey Badass on there? I don't know. But I don't think that. I think if the album comes out 9,000 units in the first week, there ain't no interview. Now Akademiks is all giddy gumdrops. Look at who I got. This is not AI, right? Now he won him on there, right? Now he gonna defy the bubble bath rapper, right? He gonna watch the bubble bath rapper get up and go grab that flip phone and angrily call him. He's like, yeah, well, who's that up next to you? He gonna be like, my bad, bro, I'm doing my job. Now he wanna seem fair and impartial by bringing on a clear enemy of Drake, right? He knows this guy he got a record where he's throwing subs. At this point, you're basically saying, I don't care, right? But we know that this is advantageous for you because you only brought him on because the record's hot. This guy sold 120,000 vinyls, just vinyls. And that's a whole other conversation that these guys, I don't know what's going on in Gen Z. They stopped teaching them cursive, right? They not teaching cursive in the schools no more. So the kids don't even know that. They don't know how to read a clock that got hands on it. They don't know how to do that. And now they don't understand that real sales from vinyl counts as real sales. They sitting online arguing. You've trained these kids so much to think that everything is about what is it? That if your bundle it doesn't count. You got these kids so wrapped up that they don't even know that vinyl sales matter. They're trying to discredit the vinyl sales because you've done taught them that bundles this and bundles that, they don't matter, they don't count. Now these kids, they tap, gang. Something's going on online. But that's a conversation for another day, right? Only people that's tapping into this kind of nonsense is these brain dead Gen Zs that follow people like Aiden Ross and XQC and watch them stream for hours, right? I just don't know where ASAP thought this was going to go. But Akademiks will bring him in because the record is selling. Believe it or not, even though you're upset about how it's selling. So ASAP Rocky needs this to keep going. He went on Saturday Night Live, right? Let's just, on a side note, that was one of the worst episodes of SNL I've ever seen. Not because of him, because it just was bad, gang. But that's another topic for my other channel. I got another channel called Challz Off Topic. Go sign up to that. I just started that. I got one video on there. We already rocking on there. Get over there because I'm going to be talking about stuff like TV shows and this, that, and the third. But that's another note. End of the day, right? A$AP Rocky goes on here, gang, and if you listen to him talking to Akademiks, gang, they shushed everybody in the room, and it got kind of quiet, and it got serious. Like, he really, really wanted to make this passionate plea to Akademiks, like this was going to matter to him. I don't know. Have you been watching lately? This guy don't give two shits about this culture. This guy only put people on his show that's going to make him some numbers. He don't give a fuck about this shit. This nigga grab a bottle of Henny, go in his basement, in his underwear, showing himself from the waist up. He don't care about none of this shit, dog. He don't sit there and check for new music that's coming out. Like, he don't care. He ain't got no 25 top records list. He don't. I do. I got a video of 25 dopest albums of last year. I just put that up like a week ago. Go tap in and look at that. He don't have that. Let me know in the comments if Akademiks got the 25 best albums of the year. Let me know that. And I guarantee you it's all trash, right? All I saw last year, Akademiks promote Youngboy, Playboy Cardi for a little bit, Youngboy. And then whatever he can get out of Drake, but Drake ain't drop enough. He would love to promote you more Drake features and this, that, and third. It ain't enough. And they wasn't that good. So he had to be like, yo, I got to find somebody else. He latched on a Youngboy, went to about 4 Youngboy shows. Went to 1 Kendrick show, right? What's going on, gang? Like, it make sense. He bought the Sweet Sauce, said he spent 20 grand on the Kendrick show and then got pressed by Top Dog. Like, come on, gang. It's crazy, right? I'm trying to figure out what did A$AP see when he sat there and had this passionate argument, right? And I want to read some of this because I want to break it down because he's really talking to him like, brother. Don't say a word, brother. Like he's sitting there talking to him, right? And he's trying to get through to this guy, right? He's trying to get through the act, right? Akademiks is smart. I don't know if y'all know, Akademiks got a bachelor's degree in biomechanics. I mean, biomathematics from Rutgers University. I had to look it up because every time I say it, it sounds surreal. Ak is not as dumb as he acts. Ak is smart. This is a smart guy acting this dumb. This is all an act. So right now, you got to realize when you see this guy spazzing out, drunk, acting crazy, talking wildly, calling girls bees and this, that, and the third, and recklessly putting his life in danger by dissing the most heinous of rappers and the most heinous of gangsters on the street. Akademiks literally is a smart ass nerd. He's playing a game. He's playing a character. This is like a guy that has a PS7. Like he's in the future playing. He's playing this game with a fucking joystick and a headset. So he plays hip hop like a fiddle, gang. So end of the day, we're seeing a really smart nerd play this shit. So Akademiks is sitting there with A$AP Rocky, and A$AP Rocky is trying to understand how we got here, and he's trying to beg Akademiks, please act. Go back to the days where we used to look to you for music. We used to look to you for. Well, I don't know what days this was, but I'm sure some of you guys that are younger than me did go to Akademiks page and look for new music. Right? Oh shit, this Lil Uzi Vert. Who is that? Like you found new music in Akademiks. I don't know how, but somebody was doing that, not me. But A$AP is trying to implore him to get back to that. So let me read this because it's kind of sad, gang. Like it's like he really thinks that this Akademiks is going to change. Akademiks that barely listening to you. He's thinking about the numbers he's going to get. Right? He's like just watching your mouth move. This motherfucker like, I'm 35, 40, 45. I might do $500 million. Like this man ain't even listening to you. But let me read what he said. Acting full effect, right? He said, I ain't gonna hold you, man. You saying what you mean and you meaning what you saying and you deal with the consequences later. I know you get phone calls from that nigga like he's talking about the bubble bath rapper Drake, which he knows this is going up his spine. He knows that him just sitting down with Akademiks is going to first of all, it's going to set Akademiks back. But I told you, Akademiks started to really not care because he know the interview ain't coming. But this going to set Akademiks back another 7, 8, 9 months because he just got the call from Drake. Drake called him up with the you up call talking about, yo, you ain't going to say happy birthday to your boy. And then Akademiks, I told you, a whole week straight, Drake texts him on his own birthday, telling him, he gaslit him, said, you ain't gonna say happy birthday to your boy. So Akademiks went nuts. He goes posting, which is what Drake did. It's like you played it. Like I told you about that girl at 2 a.m. You could say anything to her at 2 a.m. You can come over there, Ack is that girl. So he texted him, he started going crazy, posting, oh, happy birthday to Drake, So he knows that this guy's watching, right? So at the end of the day, now he gotta do all this fixing all over again because him sitting down with A$AP just ruined that whole rollout of him getting those texts from Drake. He really only got that one text, but it meant a lot. So now he know them texts is gonna be messed up for a while. He might not get one for a while, but he sat there because he can't keep waiting on your boy, right? Sooner or later, that 2 o'clock girl, sooner or later, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you ain't there. She gonna start thinking of other numbers she can call. So he called A$AP. Let me keep this pushing. He said, I know you get calls from that nigga like, I know you had to be damn, like you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bring back the journalism. That's what we need from you. I don't know if Ak ever really had journalism. Ak just picked certain stories and commented on them negatively or positively. Ak he only talk about the person in the story. If he liked them, he talk about them good. If he don't, he talk about them bad. And he only picks stories that's going to embarrass you if he don't rock with you. Meek Mill can attest to that. And if he rock with you, the good stories, he going to post them up. And the bad stories, he going to spin them for you. I ain't seen one story in the last year and a half, 2 years for Drake that he didn't spin. Right? It could be the most heinous, weirdest story. Akademiks gonna spin it. And even when he get tired of spinning, like with the lawsuit, when he finally caved after months and months of defending it, he finally caved. He said, yo, maybe this thing ain't, maybe we should just move on from this. Drake should probably drop the lawsuit. He still said it softly. He wasn't no screaming, wasn't no yelling. He ain't had no Henny in his hand. He made sure he wasn't drunk when he talked about that goddamn lawsuit. So he made sure whoever he liked, they gonna get a good night's sleep because he gonna spin that shit nice. Right? So he never was no journalist, right? He was just a dude that figured out an algorithm that he can get paid from. But let me keep this pushing. Bring back that journalism that we need from you. Stop having like one-sided opinions because you're going to lose viewership and you're going to lose a lot of niggas. I know that you are from the forefront of streaming. You are at the forefront of journalism, okay? Right there. He's bugging out. Salute. I like A$AP, but right here, you're bugging out. He's telling Akademiks, right? Akademiks literally is a millionaire because of one-sided opinions. You're telling the guy to stop balling like he balls. This is his game, right? You know how that mean? I know your game. We know academic game. It's one-sided opinion. Some people come to him for that. He would lose half his fan base if he started being fair and balanced. That's never going to happen. He can pretend to be fair and balanced for the people that don't know, the people in the back, the dummies that don't know that this guy is 100% in the pocket of the bubble bad rapper. He's in his pocket. But other than that, most of us know it's one-sided opinion. So you're like, stop having like one-sided opinions. Imagine academics being like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Kendrick can rap like shit. That'll never happen. Like he'll say that, then the next comment gonna be backhanded like a motherfucker. So he's not gonna ever change his stance. This is who he is, and this is why he is where he is. Let me continue. He said you're going to lose a lot of viewership. At this point, if academics ain't you lose viewers for coming at that little boy and saying all these crazy things he says about these women and doing all these wild ass tirades, and academics has done some of the most one thing that academics has done, and that would end half of our motherfucking careers on YouTube for one of the things that he's done. Let alone academics will do shit tomorrow and it won't even matter because he'll just keep posting. Right? So it won't even matter what he do. So I don't know if he's going to lose viewership because we in such a trash-ass world. These people like the shit that he does. They like that he's trash. So he's not going to lose viewership. He could fade out if he stop being what he is, stop being a dumbass. But if he starts being like you're trying to be, I'm going to put a suit on and just start talking about things and from both sides, he ain't going to never do that because then that's when he'll lose his viewership. He catering to a bunch of kids that don't care. They want the nonsense. They want the silly back and forth. They want it. So that's his audience. But ASAP don't know that. ASAP thinks that we still talking about Vibe magazine and all this. These ain't articles, gang. This guy is not an author. Like he's not a writer. This is not his job. Right now he's sensationalizing everything. And that's what he get paid to do. So I don't know if ASAP really understands academics' job. And I get it that you don't want to go on there and offend the motherfucker, but you ain't gotta rub his back and make it seem like, bro, we need y'all. We don't really need him, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. He out here causing a lot of turmoil. We don't really need him. Let's just be honest. They want him because he entertains people. We don't need him. Let me keep it a buck. Let me keep this pushing. You're new. You change journalism in this new age. Nobody buys tangible magazines and newspapers no more for our generation. That's true. But that was bound to happen because the internet in and of itself and they still sell magazines, let's just be honest. But yes, it's tough to sell hip hop magazines, urban magazines, because it happens so fast. You're going to get what you need right on Twitter, right on Facebook, right online. It's going to come to you faster than you could ever get in a magazine. So that's why these magazines went online. That's why XXL and all these magazines have converted themselves to online. They're still around. They still do things, and even those blogs are still around. Allhiphop.com, all the Chuck Creekmore and all that. They still around too, but they've all converted to digital form, and that's why the magazines, the tangible magazines, are hard to sell. This, that, and the third. You only want to sell them to middle-aged white people, Fish and Stream and all this shit. They're going to still make magazines for them, but they're not. No, the young people are not buying magazines. But that's not just because of ACK, but ACK has learned a hustle to be this obnoxious, just ghoulish fiend online, and he doesn't care what he says. Sometimes he talks intelligent, most time he don't, and this is what he gets. So he posts online. You see his Twitter is just ridiculous takes. They very the nonsensical and they're really biased. So people like that. Either you love to see it or you hate it so bad you got to go on there like me, comment this, that, and the third. So it's like either way, it's come say hi to the bad guy. He's winning either way. So it's not really journalism, it's sensationalism. And that's what he's doing. So ASAP is pleading to a man to change his whole lifestyle and give up what's making him famous. He's never going to do that. Let me continue. It's all digital. It's all digital media. You're the #1 digital hip-hop media outlet. I don't think that. First of all, Akademiks is not hip-hop. Let's stop this. We got 2026. Can we stop? Can we stop? Like saying shit like this is why we're here. This is why we're a problem. Because then Akademiks get to the people that don't know what hip-hop really is. They think that he's hip-hop media. He's not. He's a commentator that talks shit about hip-hoppers and music that he likes. And then he'll get biased with his reviews if he don't like the person. So you got to understand what's going on. Like Akademiks will have a beef. He had been having a beef with Freddie Gibbs for fucking 10 years. So he's never going to hype up a Freddie Gibbs album. right? He gonna spread he gets this, that, and the third. He gonna come at the guy rather than try to hype the music up because he's too entrenched with beefs and side antics and this and that. So he's not hip hop media. Let's stop. As a matter of fact, it's 10 of these motherfuckers we need to stop calling hip hop media. They're not hip hop media. If he was hip hop media, he would be talking more about things than hip hop. I went down this page when Nas dropped, not a word about Nas. I told you, he had 4 posts about NBA YoungBoys and 2 about Pooh Shiesty, like some weird shit, right? I don't remember who the other motherfucker was, but it wasn't Nas. So I'm like, he's not hip hop. If Nas is dropping and you're not talking about Nas until you hear that it's not selling well, then you say something at that point, you want to talk about the sales, you're not hip hop. So we need to stop this shit. A$AP Rocky really shouldn't even be on there expecting a hip-hop conversation from this nigga. Let's just be honest. So let me continue. He says, hold up. Hey, I had to call one time, like, you don't be posting niggas like that you feel like, yo, this is why, don't lie. And when I go to your page, it's nothing but drama. Because this dude's a drama queen, gang. But people want drama now. They don't want hip-hop media. There's a lot of guys out here doing good work with hip-hop. Some of them get seen, some of them don't. But this is not it. So you making this passionate plea to Akademiks to change your ways. What ways? You're telling a nigga to change who he is. Right? It's the scorpion. That's the bullfrog on the back of the scorpion. And he told the scorpion, don't sting me, we both die. Akademiks gonna sting him anyway. This is who he is, gang. Let me continue. And when I go to your page, it's nothing but drama. You used to be posting shit you thought was fire on some Tumblr shit. Now you getting so political that we know that a nigga gave you 5 bands to post. Just thinking to myself like, yo, it's crazy that like before, niggas like me, like Tyler, like before we go get up, it ain't no shade room. It ain't taking nothing away from the shade room. Shout out to them. Like we looking to act, whatever, right? End of the day, you guys can tell me in the comments if you remember. Maybe I'm bugging, and maybe I'm out of touch because I don't remember. But I don't remember Ak being like the funnel of all new things. I remember Ak would jump on shit that was already popping and say, "Oh yeah, this guy, that guy." Ak would jump on stuff that was already kicking. And maybe post that. But I don't remember Ak break. And I know you're gonna say, yeah, Ak, because this used to be a big story and a big problem. People say Ak don't break no artist. I know you're gonna say, well, he broke this guy. He broke XXX. He didn't really break XX. He latched onto some guys. Okay, he latched onto some guys that was already on their way, right, and made friends with him. And that's really, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Ak is here because of the connections he made by latching on the rappers, which gave him more credibility and it made him look more popping. He knows that, you know that, and I know that. That little fake relationship where he started to seem to get all these little tidbits directly from Drake, and he was latching on to XXXTentacion, then he latched onto Tekashi 69. It looked like this guy was plugged in, right? Who was the other Bama? Stitches and all these motherfuckers. So it's like Akademiks had access to rappers, and rappers had access to him because they wanted to be a part of it. And when you crossed him in any kind of way, you became on the outskirts, and now he starts dissing you. Akademiks had beef with about 25, 35 rappers, right? The ones that he liked was way, the ones that he didn't like outweighed the ones that he did. So we saw a man that got on because we felt like, or some of us felt like, that he was locked in and he was plugged in and rappers needed him for the promo, which they did because the page was blowing up and he seemed to have connections with this guy, that guy. And he was like, he really was a fan that ended up getting in a position by posting so much and being so controversial that rappers had to deal with him. Labels had to deal with him. Because what a label's going to sit back there and say, who's getting the most engagement in this space? And they're going to look at his page. And I told my brother-in-law, God rest in peace, so the Pedro, we had this conversation, was Akademiks bigger than Deezus and Mero at one time. And I was like, he's killing Deezus and Mero. This is when Deezus and Mero was at their prime. They was good. I think they had just signed to Showtime. They had signed to Showtime. And they was killing everything. They was everywhere, right? And I said, they're not bigger than Akademiks in this space. And we went to Akademiks Twitter. The dude had 1 million subs. I said, he's bigger than everybody right now because of what he does, the antics he pulls. So that's what the label's going to do. They're going to look and see who's doing the most numbers, who gets the most engagement. So they're going to start pushing their artists there. They're going to send him money. Yes, they're going to send him money. He says he don't get paid. You can't buy me. We know they sent you money. So they're going to send you money to get that artist on his platform, one way or another. If you think Akademiks did all that out of the kindness of his heart, back when he was just coming up, when he would push this guy or post this guy's thing, you're crazy. You're insane. So at the end of the day, One way or another, he was getting favors from these labels, so they had to deal with him. These artists were told, you gotta get in good grace with Akademiks. And the ones I'm gonna be honest, what really is the ones that really started beef with him is because they couldn't get in there like they wanted to. So then they beef with him. So now you getting in one way, you getting in the other. You gonna deal with me, get down and lay down. So if I can't get in there one way, then I just beef with you, say some wild shit, then you wanna attack me. So now I'm in there the other way. So either way, my name is buzzing. There's about 10 rappers I saw him blow up that we never heard of him because he started dissing them. That's another way to get in, gang. So the label's looking at it like he's the most engaging commentator in this space. That don't mean he's hip hop. It just means he can get that younger audience, and that's all that matters. The youngers are the ones. That's the ones who's going to stream. Why you think Drake been toying them around all these years instead of saying, "Dude, you're a goofball. Get out of here." Because he knows this guy, at the end of the day, even though he's 37, 38, he's still attracting young kids that want to hear that nonsense. So they know that they need him. So end of the day, ASAP Rocky needed him. Be honest, he wouldn't have went there even if it wasn't beneficial. So we're seeing the guy getting called hip hop media, this, that, and the third. Ak ain't nobody hip hop media. He's just a dude that goes live and he says the most controversial shit with no chill. And what it is he'll double down, triple down, and people like that. They're like, no matter right or wrong and different, if this nigga say some ignorant shit and then doubles down, triples down, he won't back down, people want to see that. That's a train wreck. Right? That nigga apologized probably twice in his whole fucking career. Right? One of them was, well, who was he talking about? I think, was it the Nicki Minaj thing? Or one of these women, he went and called him a bitch and this, that, and the third, and just went too far. Started talking crazy. And he didn't. It ain't like he never did it again. He did it again, but he apologized that time because they was trying to take mad shit from him. And probably one more time. It was over another female. End of the day, was it John Legend's wife? At the end of the day, right? This guy don't really apologize, and people love to see that. So he can engage people and make things bigger than they are, blow them out of proportion, and then boom, guess what? Here we are. Everybody's back on his page. Either you cussing them out or you telling them Akademiks, I love you, whatever you got going on. It's all about all engagement is good engagement these days. So ASAP Rocky played the game just like everybody else, went on there, but I'm just going to be honest. What you did, ASAP, you gave him more validity. You just empowered him even more. Every year he does 2 or 3 really big interviews. Last year it was Kanye, right? He sat there and nervously, awkwardly, it's like he was scared this motherfucker. This motherfucker had on a goddamn K-cut, Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, he was scared of him. Once he put that shit on, he's like, this nigga might fuck around. You don't know what this nigga want. So he did the Kanye West interview, and who else was it? He did like 3 really big interviews. Every year he's gonna do this, and he's gonna move the needle. So here we are. This is the first one of the year. ASAP Rocky, he probably get 2, 3 more, and it's going to keep him valid. It's going to validate him. So ASAP Rocky really just stamped the dude one more time, one more year, right? One more time. We got him one more year. Now this interview going to go viral. We're going to be talking about this shit for days. Everybody going to eat off it. He going to eat off it. And then it's going to cool off, and he going to figure out somebody else. All right, so he's just playing the game. It is what it is. ASAP got to understand, we don't look at Akademiks like that no more. I don't know if we ever did. Some of you did, but not me. So end of the day, ASAP, good congrats on the album. It's very diverse, very, 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 I like what I've heard. I have not heard the whole album. I'm going to get around to it, but we were looking for somebody to do something different. A lot of these guys don't know what to do no more. A lot of these guys, Young Thug and what's this other guy, 21 Savage. A lot of guys trying to figure out what to do next, right? Fuck around, come out with rock. They gonna fuck around be doing rock and roll next. Some goddamn heavy metal shit because this worked. But end of the day, salute to ASAP Rocky, man. I know you went on there and you had an agenda and you did what you did. You spoke to him. But I think you really meant this shit from the heart. Akademiks don't deserve none of this shit, man, because he ain't gonna listen to you. Just gonna be honest, man. I'm out of here, man. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show, me, TJ, and Fliz. Tap in, get in the comments, let us know you're there. Also, we got a new record called This, That, new video on my page. Scroll back, type This, That, Challz Brown, me, TJ, and Fliz. We barking on that record. We barking on that video, man. Go lock in. Let me know what you think, man. Get in the comments. I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat. Get my sheepskin. Grab my wallet. Get my pocket knife. And get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for 1 game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.